I think we can all remember this famous Dragon Ball scene.
Vegeta, what did you say his power level is? It's over 9,000! 9,000?!
It's from an era of Dragon Ball that introduced something called power levels. These power levels were used to rank different characters in terms of strength. Normies having a power level of around 10, while our main heroes and villains go all the way up into the millions. However, this ranking system doesn't stick around for very long, pretty much being tossed out by the end of the Frieza saga. Trust me, we'll get back to power levels in a second, but for now, let's talk about something scary: the real world. Life, while not dominated by power levels, is dominated by numbers. How much money you make, how much weight you can lift, how old you are, etc. Even you watching this video right now is a product of ones and zeros. No matter how you slice it, life is dominated by numbers, and our minds are dominated by numbers. But why is this, and should they be? In Dragon Ball, like I said, power levels weren't around for a very long time, and they were mainly used by the bad guys. Instead, through years of training and meditation, our characters were able to sense ki instead of relying on power levels and a scouter. While I have to admit that this is a loosely veiled connection between real life, the thing I have to live, and anime, the thing I like to talk about, I do have to admit that we are addicted to numbers. You can just take the power levels from this fictional anime that existed for about 1.5 sagas. That idea was so popular, just adding a number to a character's level of strength, that power levels themselves have become their own source of content on YouTube and the internet in general, continuing to this day. And outside this nerdy stuff, we're all still addicted. Here's a direct example coming straight from this guy. Now, you may be surprised to hear this, but I actually have a YouTube channel, which you should subscribe to, by the way. And even though I set up so many goals outside of just number metrics, I still end up disappointed or happy depending on how a video does based on views, comments, and likes. And recently I made this video and it did terribly. I thought it was, like, I had hope Homie was gonna pop off. I thought it was a good video. I thought I was trying something new and something good would happen from it, and we'd get those numbers, baby. Ultimately, I learned a lot. I made the longest video I've ever made, and I got some good comments, but it just didn't get the numbers that I wanted to, and I couldn't help but feel sad about it. And while it's these numbers that kind of made me feel like that video failed, I do have to admit and want to convey to you that numbers themselves are empty. However, there is some good to numbers, and you can use them to your advantage. For example, goal setting. While your goals shouldn't directly be tied to numbers, and it can be kind of disappointing and hollow to set your goals to numbers, numbers are a great benchmark or bar to set for your achievements. And the reason why it's good to set goals to numbers is because our monkey brains love them so much. It's easy to set a goal to a number because you'd be like, oh, I lifted 135 last year, this year I'm doing 225, I'm an absolute monster, bro. But you do have to remember two things. One, to be reasonable with yourself, and two, to find a deeper purpose behind these numbers of why you're doing an action. Why is it important to do this? Well, if you set a deeper meaning to an action that you're doing, you can never truly fail it. For example, if you take a boxer whose goal is to push himself to the absolute limit to get to the peak of his ability, even when he's faced with defeat in the ring, he's still a winner because he pushed himself absolutely as far as he could go. He had this intrinsic goal that he set outside of the result. And if you can do this too, you will never lose. Never lose, but you know what I'm saying. Now, numbers are great because they are an awesome sense of dopamine. We all want the high score in a video game. We all want the highest bench press, lowest mile time, etc., etc. However, when you can remove the meaning behind the numbers and strive for a higher purpose, you'll find yourself improving and finding long-term satisfaction, which is so much better than short-term pleasure or dopamine. While numbers are insanely useful to help you strive towards your goals, I just wanted to highlight that real success comes from finding out the underlying reasons for why you have your goals and striving towards that deeper purpose. Personal example right now, a goal of mine might be to have an A+ in a class that's 100%, that's 900 points out of 900 points. I'm not striving towards that to get 100 out of 100. I'm striving towards that to have a deeper meaning and a higher chance to get a job later on in life. That's my focus. That's my goal. And that kind of rewires your mind to try harder in class, to get a deeper understanding, to communicate with others. And overall, I'm going to get a lot more out of school, having a mindset of I'm here to learn, than the mindset of I'm here to just get an A. Anyway, guys, well, it may be deceiving that I'm wearing the exact same hoodie as I was earlier. This is actually 3 months later. This was a video I made at the end of last semester, and now I'm starting up my fall semester at school, and I'm going to pick up this YouTube channel again. So I hope you enjoyed, and have a fantastic day.